Hello there. I got back from seeing Ready Player One tonight. I decided to wait until tonight, which is Bargain Tuesday at the Cinemark Theater in the Joliet Mall. Um, all tickets are $5. Of course, I saw it in the D-Box Theater with the 3D glasses, which cost me a little extra, but it was worth it. The 3D effects were good. They always are. D-Box, it didn't really add anything to the movie, but I just thought I'd enjoy it more, and I did. I'm going to assume that you have, whoever's watching this, I'm going to assume that you have both seen the movie and read the book. Not necessarily in that order, I hope. So I will be talking a little bit about each. I went in there knowing it wasn't going to be exactly like the book. I think probably mostly due to the rights issues. And did we really want to sit through there to watch him go all the way through War Games and Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because we'd be there all night, let's face it. As I suspected, there were quite a few Warner Brother properties in there. I thought it was... Well, books and movies are totally different mediums, so I didn't you have different expectations for them. But I thought the movie, it had a slight advantage over the book because don't get me wrong, the book is great. I really enjoyed the book, but it was not so much. It was mostly, it was all about the game and the figuring out the 80s references, which I liked. But it was more, I don't know, in terms of like actual plot and characterization, it left a little something to be desired. Parzival was a bit of a Gary Stu, and what the bad guy, Sorenso or whatever his name is, he really wasn't that much of a villain. He didn't really do all that much. But it was a little better in the movie was better in terms of like story and characterization. In the book, most of it, I'd say maybe like the majority of it takes place in the Oasis, and there are some parts that take place out in the real world, and I thought the movie did a better job of mixing the real world action and the action in the Oasis. It was more suspenseful, definitely, especially towards the end. The villain Sorenso, he still really wasn't much of a villain, but at least he did a little bit more than he did in the book. Everybody did good. I was very pleasantly surprised to see that they kept Artemis's birthmark, because all the pictures and clips I'd seen of her, they didn't really show that. And some people were saying, well, in the book she's got this birthmark on her face, and she's supposed to be a little more Rubenesque. I think the term is, yes. They gave her the birthmark, and so I was pleased with that. And I was pleased with everybody. They all did a good job. Now I'm blanking on what else I wanted to talk about. I was a little concerned that it was all just going to be about, the pop culture references and everything, and which is fine. Yes, I was thrilled to see The Iron Giant, one of my favorite animated movies. I was even more thrilled when I saw the Cyclops from the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, because I thought I don't know, some people have they don't really seem to like older movies for some reason, and the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad is considered to be quote-unquote an older movie, and people just aren't... a lot of people just they just don't seem to care for it very much because it's not CGI. He was probably pretty much CGI in this, so I'm sure everybody was happy about that. So it was great to see him. I was very happy to see him, and I didn't really spend the whole time, trying to pick out who was who. It did good, and I'm sitting there, and the credits are rolling, and Ernest Cline did work on the script, so I pretty much thought it had to be at least the guy who wrote the book. He was on the script too, so I figured it had to be something that he would have approval over. And it said based on the book by Ernest Cline, and the guy sitting behind me was like, "Oh wow, it was a book too?" And I'm like, yeah. Yes, some of us do still read, believe it or not. Oh, and as always, it once again it passed the drink test. I got myself, if I can get it here without spilling it, got myself a nice big Ready Player One cup. I had to pay extra for it, but I thought, what the heck, it's there, and I think I could splurge for it. It's still full. I only took 3 sips out of it, so it definitely passed the drink test. Yeah, it's still way full. We can turn it. There he is. There's Wade. You can see him there. I sometimes wonder, I think, I'm trying to remember, I want to say that the only time that a movie really passed the drink test, I didn't take one drink out of it once. I want to say that was when I went to see Fantastic Beasts. I didn't touch my drink once, so that one was a definite, it passed the drink test 100%. I took 3 sips out of it, and so it did well. I can't really recall any movie I've seen that flunked the drink test. In fact, I don't think any movie I've seen in the theater has flunked the drink test. So, because I've said before, that's my main concern. How well does it hold my attention? And if it holds my attention well enough to where I have most, if not just about all of my drink left, then it did a good job. It did a really good job, which this movie did. Was it the greatest movie ever made? No, it wasn't. But they did, it was a good job on everybody's part. Steven Spielberg, Ernest Cline, everybody, the cast, everybody involved. And yes, if you do have the opportunity, please go and read the book. The book was good too. Like I said earlier, it's a little short on plot and characterization. The majority of it is all about the game and about life in the Oasis. I think they said something. I know Ernest Cline is working on a sequel, and I think Spielberg is going to be involved with that too. I think it might deal with how Wade and I can't think of her real name. Artemis, the real Wade and Artemis. How they're going to use the money he's won to try and rebuild the world. That would be a good thing. So I just wanted to share my thoughts while they were still fresh in my head. And it's like the guy said, the real world is the only place where you can get a decent meal, and I'm going to go get one right now. I still have some pizza left over from Saturday night. So, enjoy, and thanks for watching. I forgot to mention, I was planning to wear one of my two Pac-Man shirts. I have two Pac-Man shirts. One has the board on it, the maze, and another one has Pac-Man chasing after a blue ghost, and it says "Back in the Day" on it. I think I probably would have worn the Back in the Day shirt myself, but I got dressed this morning and I forgot, and I wore my Get Out of Death Free regeneration card, which is still a good shirt. And that was the next one in line that I had to wear. I would have worn my Back in the Day Pac-Man shirt if I had remembered. Would have, could have, should have, didn't. Moving on.